If you clicked on this video, you're probably asking, what's the best white gel pen and what do we even use white gel pens for? Today I'll be comparing two of the best known white gel pens out there, the UNIBALL SIGNO Broad and the Sakura Jelly Roll. These two are best known for their smudge-proof, water-resistant, and comfortable writing. These pens are well regarded in both the arts and crafts realm. Which one is better though? We will be putting these pens through 8 tests, and they are
Opaqueness, square, dot line, dash, wave, watercolor, fonts, and colored paper.
Make sure to stay till the end to see which one wins.
Before we start, I thought I'd show you a close-up look at each of these pens to see what their tips look like. So for the first test, I am testing these two pens on black cardstock to see how opaque the ink turns out. When I did this, the UNIBALL SIGNO White tended to be a little bit more dull in certain areas, but the Sakura Jelly Roll was consistent throughout. On to the next test, which is the square test. So for the square test, we're basically testing to see how long the ink can stay consistent and not fade. And when I tried both of these pens, the UNIBALL SIGNO had streaks in the beginning, but then started to go strong. And the Sakura Jelly Roll was strong in the beginning, but then started to streak afterwards. So here I'm showing the dot line test, but I will also show you the dash line test right after this, and then we will discuss. As you can see for the dash line test, UNIBALL SIGNO seems to be streaking at the beginning, but then goes strong. But then the Sakura Jelly Roll is strong throughout. If we compare the pens on both of these tests, we can see that the UNIBALL SIGNO definitely struggles in the dash line test, and the Sakura Jelly Roll has a very slight struggle, but overall, the Sakura Jelly Roll seems to be performing a lot better in this test for consistency. So for the next test, which is the wave test, we can see that the UNIBALL SIGNO has clear struggle at the beginning. This could be due to it being a slightly older pen, but it also kind of shows that consistency-wise, it is not very good. And the Sakura Jelly Roll seems to be consistent throughout, making it the winner of this test as well. For this next test, we're going to switch out the black paper and bring in some watercolor paper. This test really surprised me because the UNIBALL SIGNO pens seem to not be doing very well for the previous test, but for this test, it seemed to be doing pretty well. The Sakura Jelly Roll, on the other hand, started to look a lot more faded than how it did on the black paper, which is kind of surprising considering how well it performed before. This could be due to numerous factors, such as the formula that it was made with, but clearly, the clear winner of this test is Signo White. Although it's a little early to declare the winner, we can say for sure that if you want to do watercoloring, you should definitely go with the UNIBALL SIGNO. The reason I named this test the fonts test is because we're trying out several types of fonts that you would normally see with a gel pen. When we're trying out the Signo White gel pen, it seems to be doing pretty well in all 4 of the font types that we tried out, which is actually a pretty good sign. Similarly, the Sakura Jelly Roll also performed pretty decently for all 4 of these fonts, which shows that both of these pens do pretty well in general on black paper, regardless of what font you use. On to the next test. So for the color paper test, I carried out pretty similar tests as I did with the black paper. The reason that I included the color paper test is because when you're doing paper crafts or making greeting cards, you're not just going to use black paper. You're going to use a variety of color papers, and the way that the pen's going to turn out on each of these papers really depends on what color you're using. We try out these tests on the color paper, we can see that there is a very similar performance for both UNIBALL SIGNO and the Sakura Jelly Roll. However, I'd also like to note that there was a little bit of struggle with the dot and dash line tests for the Sakura Jelly Roll, so that is definitely something to consider.
When you look at the performance of the Sakura Jelly Roll, you can see that it performed pretty well on the test that we did on the black paper. But when we did test on the other papers like the orange or the watercolor paper, we can see that it didn't perform as well. However, its price is considerably good compared to the UNIBALL Signo, which does make it an attractive option. When it came to the UNIBALL Signo, we can see that it performed somewhat mediocre when it came to the black paper tests, but when we saw it on watercolor, it was surprisingly a lot better, and it performed pretty decently on the orange paper as well. So if you want to do watercoloring and you need a good white gel pen that will show up on the paper, then you should definitely choose the UNIBALL Signo. Regardless of the result, I would recommend getting either of these pens for any of your crafting projects. So after completing all these tests and assessing the performance of each pen in each of these tests, we can see that the clear winner is the Sakura Jelly Roll. If you like this video and like to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe, as this is the second of several card making and crafting videos. I will be linking the first video up here, so definitely check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye!